And slowly but steadily we are also killing split economy ships. That's a hunter group, which is hunting down freighters. And this new outpost in Preacher's Void just got his agent ships, so I will activate them. The easiest way to do that is just in the administration section and then activating auto assign for the agents and also the traders. And the miners. I think I already got miners here. And then he is slowly filling up all the available slots with as many ships as he has. Also gonna activate looters. It's always nice to see the automation in progress. When you have to click less buttons. And since I was able to use templates from other outposts and just copy the logistical settings over, everything is working fully automated. And it gets easier and easier. You really just have to establish your core empire once you have the first, once you have a basic layout, how you want to organize your logistics and stuff, then you can just use the old settings and copy them over. Like I already said multiple times, Emperor Mines is my main shipyard, and all the other shipyards, my old one in the first sector, and now we have 3 more here in this area. And they are all using the same settings. All the small shipyards are pulling resources from the main shipyard. And I didn't really need to adjust each sector. I just copied the settings over, did a few tweaks here and there, maybe changed out the food that they are using and adjusted the trade settings a bit. But for the most part, you can just use that template from the old sectors that you have already set up and use that for as many new sectors as you like, really. Whoop, Xenon patrol in our way. Let's turn around. Yeah, I'm using a fairly small and brittle fighter design as my main fleet fighter, so I'm always losing a bunch of them. Especially since the split agents, the design that they are using for their agent ships are Orinokos and they have more guns. And usually they are able to damage or even kill a fighter. But if we manage to kill a split ship, then it will cost them resources, so it's well worth if you are losing a few fighters from that. But we also got a corvette approaching. So maybe it's time to go away. Yeah. Here we have another sector where we can activate the miners. Just fill up those slots. And the Xenon have conquered another sector, so they are speeding up. And we have to act swiftly. I don't think I can finish off the split before we have to deal with the Xenon. But at least the Paranid fleet managed to kill off their central sector. We could actually grab that right now without incurring a reputation loss. A jump beacon gets infected, but we have security ships in the sector and they are quickly hunting the Xenon down before he's finished with his malicious task. I'm using a layered defense with a very small stationary force at each jump beacon, which acts as the last line of defense. They are monitoring for enemy fighters in a small area around them. So if a Xenon approaches to infect the jump beacon, they usually manage to kill him off. About 4 fighters will do, from my experience. And then in most sectors I'm also using a dedicated response fleet, which is mostly able to also monitor multiple sectors and they can respond to various threats. And you can control most of that with the target priorities and response settings, so that you don't have small fighter fleets chasing around after enemy corvettes and getting killed in the process. You don't want that. Let's drop a few more factories. I really want to do a proper fleet system tutorial. I know I promised that in the past, but there was some other stuff getting in the way and I didn't find the time to do it. But it will eventually come. A small tutorial series properly explaining all the fleet settings and stuff, with various examples how you can set up these response fleets and use them for various tasks. Most importantly, securing your sector. And here we have the terraformers creeping up on our research station. And they have brought an eye destroyer. So we probably have the next big fleet forming in this area. Right next to the one over here, which also sports capital ships. And the one down here. So the Xenon are slowly but steadily becoming a problem. And one sector south of the location where we had the split corvette right now, we have the medium response fleet creeping up. They are a bit slow because the split corvette has already left through the west gate. And I have to place a jump beacon so that they can respond faster. But the general idea is that these guys are a bit more of the heavier side. And they are 7 corvettes and they are able to deal with, when your sector gets overrun by pirate corvettes, for example. Then these are the guys who will respond to that. The fighter fleets will usually stay away. because the pirates are too dangerous to them. But the medium response, they are a bit more courageous, but they will ignore the small enemies, so they won't respond to the enemy freighters, the split freighters, which were in the sector a few seconds ago. And they will also ignore fighters, so if you have a sector which is overrun by pirate fighters, for example the sectors near the Yaki, they are usually swarming with fighters, and here we have a fighter response fleet which is hunting them down, some sort of bounty hunter fleet, you could say. And the medium response troops, even if I would tell them to monitor the sector, they would ignore the pirates because they don't focus on fighters, they only respond if something like a corvette or bigger is entering the sector. And that's that layered defense. So multiple fleets with different tasks and attacking different enemies. Oh, and one trader was stupid enough to move through the Karg sector. 3 carriers. And I know that they also had a queen. And we have a big Xenon fleet next to the Karg in the west and another one down to the south, so we actually have 2 big Xenon fleets in this area. And we may see a fight erupting between the Xenon and the Karg. Damn, the Paranid are in really bad shape now. They have 3 strong Xenon fleets, which are all moving into their core territory. That's going to be tough for them. But they are still the biggest faction. They are a coalition target for 3 other factions, so it's only fair that they are getting beaten up.